I guess I should turn my mic on first. What's up, everybody? It's your man, Joe Blackburn. Welcome to the Bitcoin Hour. And we have some fun things we're going to talk about tonight. It's just me. You know, if things get a little fun and crazy, maybe we'll add somebody on here or there. But I definitely wanted to address a few awesome things that I've been kind of putting together coming into 2020 that I think that will really inspire and bring a lot of anticipation and excitement into what's going to happen in the new year. You know, a lot's been going on, folks. A lot has been going on. And I saw, obviously we covered a little bit, from that dip down to 6,600 ish, whatever. And, most of that had to do with the impeachment announcement, right? I mean, if we're honest, that's what happened. I mean, the bad news of the world is Bitcoin's best friend as price movement goes. And that's not a good thing, right? Like, that's not what we want to be. All right, so I'm going to talk a little politics tonight. I usually don't, and I'm not going to be divisive. I'm going to be very inclusive in this. My personal profile is very different for those of you who are friends with me. If you're not friends with me, you can follow me on Facebook. I'm getting close to my max on friends again. I did go through a purge not too long ago, and I do have some extra room. So if I know you, if we've been friends for a little bit, if we've been talking, submitting for requests, I'll try to make sure you fill up those last few spots. I want to start off with, I want to remind everybody that, in about 5 months here, 5.5 months, maybe we'll call it 6 months from now, we're going to have, it is 6 months from now, actually, we're going to have the halving, right? The halving. What's up, Ryan? Go Gators, chomp, chomp. Brian is on that Bravo coin train. I don't blame him, man. I'm going to have Adam Barlam on again at some point soon, probably in CCT. He's got some things he wants to do for the community. So we're going to do that. I think what Adam's been doing over at Bravo has been, second to none in crypto at the moment. And I'm proud of him. But I want to stay on a little bit of topic here. And that is, folks, we are a very unique blend of the world, the cryptoverse is. We're a group of people who, for the most part, are here for financial gain, if you're honest, right? But have accommodated the opposing view because there's a mutual interest, and I just don't think it's that hard to replicate in real life. I don't think it's hard to replicate that excitement, that joining of hands, that okay, yeah, I know we disagree, but look, we're all on the same team. Look what's happening. It's so awesome. Life is not that bad, folks. I mean, I'm speaking specifically to Americans here in this case, but I definitely want to make sure that, that I'm not just only talking about America. I'm talking about the cryptoverse when I say this. Bitcoin is not going anywhere. First and foremost, let's make that very clear. The halving's coming up. We've got the election coming. There's going to be a lot of news. There's going to be a lot of really positive things happening for crypto. I mean, we're not done with the Libra stuff. I know it's been quiet for a while, but I mean, Libra's, look, there's been a lot of money invested into that already. It's not just going away. What's up, Adam? Thanks for joining, man. There's just a lot of really cool things that are going to be really positive, I think, for Bitcoin. And one of those positive things is the negativity that Facebook and Libra and Calibra, the wallet, they're going to soak up that negativity, and there's going to be a lot of room for Bitcoin growth. There's a moment in the Bitcoin crypto blockchain time period where things shifted, and I'm speaking historically here. It went from Bitcoin, then it went to Litecoin, Doge, among a few others, Bitcoin Dark. This shift in there's something else allowed people to be open-minded enough to watch the ICO market. Had you gotten into Doge early, guess what? You'd probably be pretty rich right now, right? I mean, and you didn't. Doge wasn't no ICO. Doge and Litecoin. I mean, these were mimics and they were forks of Bitcoin. And so, what's up, Nick? Good to see you. Watching from Jamaica, I know you are. Mr. Baz, the scam man. How's it going? Bonjour. The Canadian says, "How do I get on?" Rob, you want to get on tonight? How do I get? I'll send you a link. Give me a minute. Let me kind of shape this episode. But if you're going to be around, I'll let you on for a little bit. Get set up, man. Put some headphones on so I don't have an echo. If you have some, if not, I'll deal with the echo. But I'm kind of everywhere at the moment. But it all leads to one thing: is 2020 is set up to be that historic movement that we've witnessed. And I know, look, for you Democrats listening, I'm not talking about all you. I got a lot of sensible Democratic and liberal friends, and I'm not here to talk shit about you. But what I will tell you is the party has deteriorated into this intolerant, you must abide by these rules or else. And the Republicans literally just went through a shift that's the exact opposite. They had these rules, and guess what happened? Donald Trump stomped all over 16 candidates on his way to getting the nomination for the Republican candidacy and then ultimately the presidency. Think about that, Dems. That's you right now. And if you think I'm wrong, you're an idiot. And I'm not joking when I say that. Your party is where the Republicans were after the Bush administration. I don't want to call Obama a failed regime or anything, and I'm not going to get too political. I don't want to be divisive here. I'm telling you, the Andrew Yang or the Tulsi Gabbard is not wrong, and that's the unifier for you. That's the one that shifts people from the center, from even the leaning right into sensibility. Donald Trump knows exactly what he's doing every time he trolls, every time he laughs, every time he does something. And I really, really, really want people to take a strong look into this and say, we have a chance with someone like Andrew Yang. We have a chance with someone like Tulsi Gabbard to at least unify conversation. And I am very, very proud of many of the friends that I know and the many of the friends that have come to me and said these things. And so it's important to be said. And also, Bitcoin is going to be part of this conversation. And so I do think Andrew Yang's probably about 15 years ahead of his time. And I'm a personality. I'm allowed to have a conversation about these things. And I've always said that, dividing is the wrong answer. But look, crypto is going to become political, folks. We're going to be political. I see your comment, Brandon. I feel you, man. Look, there's a difference in this, is that we've gotten to a point now where things need to be talked about. And I'm not sitting here saying Trump should be the president. I am telling you, though, I'm telling everybody, we're in a position in crypto where we are shaping the future, and we've got to recognize it. And we cannot be blocked in, or we can't pull ourselves into a position where we're not able to function at any level because we're so set on a certain topic. You've got to keep an open mind in this space, folks. And I'm not just talking about so Bitcoin's price can go up. I am a decentralized minded person. I want government to be as involved as minimal as possible, period. If the government doesn't have to be there, keep them out. We don't need government. We can self-regulate. And that's the free market that we exist. Guess what? We're sitting here. We got scammed. Cryptocurrency, ICOs. Oh, what a scam. Guess what? It is what it is. Take your licks, learn your lessons, and let's get better. Let's not look back. Let's not sit here and complain. I will say, over the last 4 months, it's been a lot better. People have finally gotten over. Look, no, I am just as freaking pissed as everybody else. I'm just as mad that my money or my investment or whatever it might have been went to zero. Okay. And probably never to return. But get over it. I'm over it. I'm moving forward. And this is really what I want this episode to really encompass tonight, folks. I want people to really take a look at what is the future of the blockchain. It's not only Bitcoin anymore. No matter how much of a maximalist you might be, Bitcoin does not only do the blockchain. There are thousands upon thousands, good and bad projects running around, being crazy, doing what they want to do in a free market. And if that scares you, get out, because you weren't made for this space. Now, That's not to say regulation should be there. Regulation can start with us, though. And we've learned these lessons, and let's implement them into education, into opportunity, into fixing things that are broken, because we all have a very similar goal in mind. And most of that is usually on a monetary level. And I'll be the first one to admit that I hope Bitcoin goes up. But that's not the only reason why I'm here. I'm here because this space has allowed a certain level of future hope. If we don't capture it, take advantage of it, and seriously do something with it that makes sense, that's not here just for profit, we're talking about the future of our liberty. And you know what? It's always really funny to me. I mean, and I'm guilty of this. This is not like a scold. The Republicans and Democrats may be the most hateful people towards each other in the whole world when it comes to political parties, aside from regimes like North Korea, et cetera. I'm not even going to acknowledge them. But if you go talk to a Frenchman, all right, or someone from Norway, there's not a huge difference. Like they, of course, Europe tends to be left leaning, so they'll see like an Obama or a Hillary as progress, but they don't see them as the answer, right? They're like, oh, okay, Americans finally getting it. The future of politics in the United States is an Andrew Yang, period. It is. If you disagree with that, you're not looking back in history. Republicans today would probably be considered Democrats of 25 years ago. Andrew Yang has some forward-looking statements, and this is not an endorsement. This is not anything, and this is really unaffiliated to the 2020 election. But what I'm trying to point out in this is that if we recognize the leaders of this space, and as minimal as Andrew Yang has ever been involved in a blockchain, he's aware that it's really important, folks. And we have got to take accountability for the space and build it on our own. The more that government gets involved, the slower it's going to be, the longer it's going to take, and the more time for big corporations, for big data to come and steal your shit and make it a law, because they will pay you for it. They will pay them for it. The opportunity to continue to do that. And Rob just on cue says bribery works. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. But I am so motivated right now and this is unaffiliated to the political situation. This is truly watching what can happen in 2020. It's got to be our year. And I'm not just pretending. I'm not just saying that. I'm not trying to rile anybody up. 2020 has to be our year. But I need you, the listener, the viewer, the common person. I'm a common person. I don't pretend to be the smartest dude in the room. I know for a fact that I can go and make some stupid comments, make some things. I mean, I'm even in Bitcoin, right? I'll go on there and be like, yo, how do I send from this? How do I literally asked somebody how I get my Bitcoin onto the Lightning Network, right? And I had to walk through that. This was about a month and a half ago or so. I had to get help from somebody to literally get Bitcoin onto the Lightning Network. I should have known how to do this a year ago or whenever, February-ish. I didn't, though, right? And that's okay. It's okay. If you haven't done it, you're allowed to be ignorant to that for that moment in time. But I put it off too long. I learned it. You need some help? Send me a message. Point is this. 2020 has to be a year that we captivate and pull together as a space. No more of this. I post about this coin and everybody says it's a scam except everybody who's bought into it, who they're fighting with everybody. That's the stupidest What if your mom walked into that room and saw that happen? She would be like, what are you doing? Why? How could you possibly? Why would you put your money there? While pinching you. Can you blame her? Look, we have got to get our shit together, folks. We are thinking and accepting that there's a higher level of doing things. We recognize we're not there yet. You're waiting for everybody else to do it for you. And that's just simply stupid. Do your part, and you can start by basic beginnings. And that is, stop being so immature and just a target of people's, I like this coin or I don't like this coin. It's really simple just to keep scrolling, folks. Now, don't get me wrong. Is there another BitConnect happening? Yeah, what we just saw China just go through $2 billion. Rob, get ready. I'm going to send you a link here shortly. And anybody else. And Brandon, I welcome you on tonight too, by the way. I would, Rafiq, he said Trump equals BitConnect. I don't agree with that, but that's funny. I have to laugh. That was good. That's actually the first time I've seen Trump compared to BitConnect. It probably isn't the only time it's been done, but it caught my. I'm gonna bring Rob on. He said he was ready to come on tonight, so I'm gonna let him come on. Brandon, if you want to come on, just let me know in the comments so I can see. What's up, Adam Gambrossi? Hopefully you're still watching. Folks, Bitcoin, crypto, blockchain, that belongs to us. I mean, look, not everything in blockchain is decentralized. It's not supposed to be. Not everything needs to be decentralized. Regulation or some sort of regulatory aspects of governance, humans crave that shit. Right? I mean, go look at the most basic primitive examples of this and go into the, go look at gorillas. Guess what? There's a basic governance there. As primitive as it might be, there's instinct in that. Somebody's in charge there. And whether it's a body of governance or whether it's a person or whether it's something, it's getting to the point where we understand and conceptualize what is governance, what does it mean for the blockchain, and how do we get to a point where, as a collective unit, regardless of political opinion, we can start understanding the politics of crypto and blockchain. There is politics that are going to be very important. And if you don't believe me, go look at Facebook. They're dealing with the politics of crypto. Now, beautiful thing is, you can't call him the CEO of Bitcoin, right? Satoshi ain't showing up, and he's not the CEO. However, there is a lot more benefits than just a decentralized currency that the blockchain enables. And I got plenty of maximalist friends that say, what are you talking about any other coin for? Man, look, that's your opinion. But if you don't think the blockchain is going to do great things for this world and is going to be the savior of the technological data boom, we've got to pull back our own data, man, right? Shut up. And I'm a maximalist. I don't believe anything needs to be bigger than Bitcoin, but I will never take it as far as nothing else should exist. All right. I'm going to go ahead and post this link in the comments. And Rob, just copy and paste it. You got to use a Chrome browser. And anybody else who wants to jump on after Rob's over, you're more than welcome. I want your opinion. I want to hear. Adam Gambrell, I'm waiting for your debut. Lisa, how's it going? Doll, Signorello, please join me, Lisa, all the way over there in Aussie land. All right, so I'm sure Rob's trying to figure that out right now. Just type in your name, Rob, once you get it in. I've got to give a lot of love to Patrick. He's got this song stuck in my head. Can't tell me nothing, so he's got me really motivated right now. Have you ever heard this song? It's good. I'm not going to play it because I'll get booted off of Facebook. We'll make that the entry song. Jim, when you hear this, please make "Can't Tell Me Nothing" by Kanye West the intro song. All right, we got a visitor, everybody. Ho ho ho! What's up,
Hello.
Rob?
Hey,
how's it going?
No,
I can hear you. You sound great, and I love your black Santa hat.
How do I shut this other thing off?
Oh yeah, you're just gonna have to click out the.
There we go. Hi, how are you doing? That's better.
What's up, Big Daddy?
Another day. Had a long day actually. Drove 650 miles today for my day job.
From where to where?
From Salt Lake City to St. George, Utah, which is almost to Las Vegas and back.
Okay, fair enough. So for having a day job that you're driving a lot, you sure do have an awesome setup there. Nice mic, nice hat. It looks like you were ready for this. What do you do?
Well, I do have a podcast.
Oh, really? I'm going to let you plug it. Let's go.
Just the Rob McNeely program at robmcneely.com.
Look at old Danny Sessom showing up on cue. What's up, Danny? Danny's down there in the comments now.
But
All right.
I just got the mic, the new mic yesterday, which is actually the replacement for my old mic, which I sold a couple of years ago. But I really like the way an RE20 mic sounds better with my voice than an SM7B, sure. But I like the RE20s a lot.
Legit. Well, and for those of you, and as you can see in his name, he is the co-founder of Tusk. I got a chance to meet Rob in person in Vegas. Really a genuine dude, and I'm looking forward to what you got to say tonight, man. What's going on?
Oh, I just popping in, man. I got all sorts of opinions about stuff, and I'm usually a heretic, and Maxis usually hate me. But the one thing I wanted to piggyback on, you said earlier about some things in blockchain should be centralized. Here's the thing. I think customer service should be centralized.
Absolutely.
Because people like to do business with people they know, like, and trust. And this is the one thing that a lot of autistic kind of, people that don't ever want to deal with people, they don't get that. The fact is people want to talk to people. People want an 800 number. They want someone to help them with customer support face-to-face and come in their store and help them onboard,
That's right.
their store and crypto into their retail environment. And for those who say that doesn't matter, I would say they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And the problem is most people in crypto aren't actually sales and marketing people or product launch people or business development people, and they kind of don't understand those things. But see, I always say this: I'm not going to tell our development team how to develop, but I also tell them that they probably should because development's like a skill, right?
Sure.
But so is
it's not just a skill; it's a highly needed skill at the moment.
But so is business development, marketing, and sales.
Yep. Well said. Well said. Now, okay, so first off, I do want to and I'm going to butcher this. Simo Hamed, he asked, why is Bitcoin crashing at the end of 2019? Look, let's be real here, folks. Bitcoin doesn't crash. It just exists. And you, the consumer, the user, the holder, you put the value on when to buy and sell, right? It's a free market. So is it crashing? Well, this time last year, we were around $3,100, $3,500. And I'm not going to pretend like, life wasn't a little bit bleak at the moment, at least financially speaking. So when you say crashing, I say we're up 100%, bro.
But if you bought 2 years ago, you're down a lot of percent.
But what if you bought 3 years ago?
Maybe.
Not maybe. There's plenty of people who bought then too.
But
it's relative, right?
I think store value should be a little more consistent and flat.
That'll come
than that.
Maybe. That'll come with regulation.
Maybe. I think really, and a lot of people I don't think understand this, but why is the dollar so stable? And the reason is because people use it. Everybody uses it. And I think what happens is so much of the fact that most of these cryptocurrencies out there, in fact, all of them right now, no one's really using them for buying and selling goods and services. And I do believe whenever the winning cryptos that actually crack the killer app of payments actually manifest, and we don't know which one's going to be that one yet, I do believe that those cryptos, the ones that are actually being used, are the ones that are probably get more stable quicker than projects that are just speculative investments, because that's what's driving the volatility.
Absolutely. No, look, I cannot disagree with anything you said. First off, we're in a speculative space. People aren't here to sit around and say, yo, look, I want this price to just stay the same. I mean, if you were just doing that, you would literally only be doing business on a transactional basis. And that's what you would need. Bitcoin offers a little bit more than that. It is unstable. It is volatile. It is violent, and in price movements, obviously not in actual physicality, although unfortunately at times it has given people the reason to be that. And I don't condone that anyway, just for the sake of argument. But, Rob, you're somebody who I think has conceptualized the needs of this space, obviously with Tusk and what you've built, and what you're putting forward. You have some reasons for these things. What do you think Bitcoin is missing then? Like, I mean, to go and I'll say this: every project that comes out on the blockchain, whether it be an ERC20 token, whether it be off, and I'm a fan of Komodo. I think their chain is their blockchain is fantastic, among several others. I'm a fan of a lot of projects, and I just want a few of them to succeed, and I will support all of them. And they're going to eat each other up at some point, and there will be some giant corporation style blockchains at some point. It's just the nature of a free market. But What do you see, and why would you have the audacity to go and create something else?
Well, it's funny. I actually got excoriated yesterday by a maximalist about that exact question. And I said, in this debate, because that was the question, why don't you just do this on Bitcoin? I said, okay, well, why? Who am I going to put in my travel expenses to if I try to build it on Bitcoin? Oh, by the way, most of the people that say that have never launched a project typically don't like marketing and sales functions and don't like marketing and sales people. And they don't even view them as legitimate things or see those as professions. So it's hard to relate to a lot of those guys. But so what do I see the problem with a lot of cryptos is that they're run by developing teams. They're not run by entrepreneurs. They're not run by marketers. And so I think fundamentally they don't value sales and marketing and how important that is to getting mainstream adoption of their product. A lot of the guys in this space believe that build it and that will come as a thing when that's horseshit. Anybody that's in sales, marketing, or business development will say build it and come as nonsense, especially with a new type of product or a new technology. That's why, if word of mouth marketing was the only thing that would work with new products, then Google and Microsoft and Tesla wouldn't do any marketing, right? And Facebook wouldn't do any marketing, and they all do extensive. They spend millions and millions of dollars marketing their products that may not even be that innovative, because marketing's a thing, and it's facts. Hey, you have to do it. So I think part of the problem is it either completely decentralized teams that have no team, they're not performing the marketing functions in their projects. And in fact, in a lot of the development teams that I've talked to over the last couple of years, they absolutely hate marketing and salespeople. So if your marketing and sales, if your crypto project, which is led by a developer, and you go to CoinMarketCap and look at all the top projects that actually have teams somewhere in behind them, and then look at the makeup of those teams, you'll see lots of developers. You might see some legal advisors somewhere along the line. They might have raised $1 billion, but you don't see marketing people on their teams, at least in high-level positions. And to me, that means a couple things: that team doesn't value those functions, and the team or that organization is not performing those functions. And I absolutely believe that sales and marketing are really, really vital.
No, and look, I can't argue you as far as you being wrong. I can say that there's a time period for certain things, but one of the things that you said is look at Facebook, look at Microsoft. These people market in some capacity or the next.
So does Visa.
Absolutely.
So does MasterCard. So does Amex.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So does Venmo. So does PayPal.
Absolutely. And like you said, there's a reason why they do it. It makes sense. And the amount of money it takes to play that game is substantial, right? And there's probably only a few companies, and one of them, and unfortunately or fortunately, depending on if you're a holder or you're just somebody who loves decentralization, Ripple is probably one of the only companies that is capable of competing at that level. And I've heard rumors that they're actually going to be one of the main sponsors of the next Olympics. We'll see. Either way, I don't think that's a bad thing. Let people hear about crypto, let people find it credible, and then let them start exploring it. There's got to be a bridge somewhere. There has to be.
Well, I say this, and this is when the focus with our Tusk project. By the way, we are going completely to mainnet this weekend.
Congratulations, man.
So we resumed.
No wonder you wanted to come on the show.
Actually, I was just literally about to go to freaking sleep, and then you came on, like all your things lit up because I'm following you in a couple.
It's only 6:30. It's not even 6:30 where I'm from.
Where are you? I'm in Utah, so I'm on Mountain Time, but I got up at 3.
It's like 4:30 where you're at.
No, it's 5:30. It's 5:30.
5:30. Okay.
So I got up at 3 a.m., drove 650 miles, did some work.
Fair.
And so I'm just
look. I'm just rubbing.
No, but if you make really good points though, and to me, I say one, you don't have to do the quote unquote marketing that Visa does, right? Because you're a startup, you don't have to do it that way. I think part of the problem with the other thing I think was missing from a lot of cryptos is that, again, the build that they will come mindset, which is nonsense. And I don't care what freaking Maxi wants to argue, they're full of shit if they think you're going to get any new service or product in the market, decentralized or otherwise, without sales and marketing. You're full of shit. And I have no problem saying that. And they can go to hell.
Their argument, their rebuttal to that is, what has Bitcoin done with no marketing?
The Bitcoin has not got mass adoption for payments with no marketing.
Yeah, no, look, I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I'm telling you, like It's worked though, and there has been no marketing. It's been self marketed.
I'm not disagreeing with that. And it does
Yeah.
have network effect, but that network effect, I believe, with Bitcoin Core is actually being squandered when they change from the payments narrative to the store value narrative, because that payments narrative makes a lot more sense when you have huge network effect. But here's the thing. If you want to switch your market,
That was
I like
also back when Bitcoin was like $2 and it made sense.
So here's the thing, right? Like, how many people are gold bugs, store of value kind of people, versus how many people use PayPal and
Yep.
digital service. So to me,
Both.
I like market sizes. But here's the thing that I think that a lot of people in crypto are missing is that a lot of people, word of mouth or any other marketing that I think they're missing, is that they're trying to get people that crypto doesn't solve a problem for them in any way, and they want to try to pitch those people, and that doesn't make any sense. In fact, at this point, and for a whole lot of reasons, and UI UX, crypto creates more problems for most people. And if you're trying to create a product or service that creates more problems for people, that's just kind of a waste of time. So at least with us with Tusk, we're focusing on, we're starting with an industry that has a recognized problem. So if you're trying to create a new product or service that is a little more complicated or difficult or challenging than the existing paradigm in whatever that space is, you need to focus on people that have a recognized problem. And people in crypto aren't focusing on that. And I think that's probably the number one thing, but they're not marketers. So they don't think that way. Don't think in terms of market segmentation and market positioning and product launches and things like that.
Well, it'd be hard for anybody to technically, say that you're wrong. Like, I think that there's a lot of companies trying. And I'll give a shout out to Orchard, Tegan Klein, who's been a member of CCT for some time. She's been a member of that team, and Orchard, I don't have a ton of knowledge about it, but they have marketed well to the cryptoverse, and they have built a certain style of credibility that has been very unique, and it's been refreshing to kind of see something else step in and nobody really have a positive or negative opinion about it. That's a really, to me, that's a really good thing, and too many companies come in saying, I'm going to make you rich. And although they may not say that outwardly, that's what their intent and their marketing style and the perspective is. So it attracts a certain style of investor, which is, I want to get rich quick. That's got to change too. And that perception is being squeezed right now. We're finally getting to the point where I think, people have, I don't want to say realistic expectations, because they have overly pessimistic expectations. And you're probably dealing with that on some level or the next with Tusk, but I know your goal is not on a personal level. Just from the minimal interaction that me and you've had, Rob, I've been impressed with your reasons for existence, your reasons for building something different. It's not so you can get rich. It's so that you can build something that's going to allow, a hole to be filled.
That's our focus. I mean, we've been in the space for 2 years, non-ICO. We bootstrapped an ERC20 token. All the people working on the team have actual full-time day jobs. Everybody's working. I call them incentivized volunteers. All the development team, they're getting a little, chunk of tokens for their time and hope that they'll go up in value. But and
real quick, I hate to interrupt you, but I want to make a point real quick. The same people who will sit there and say, oh, the founders getting all this money, are the same people who are going to be like, oh, look, they're not even full-time devs. What are you talking about? People, wake up. Stop being such an asshole.
This is what I tell you. If you, and I'm not trying to pick on any projects, but there's like, we talk about fair launch coin, like Ravencoin is, Tron Black is one of our advisors, but the entire Ravencoin team was completely paid for and still is. They're full-time employees of Medici Ventures, and it's not even listed on the Medici Ventures website. So, okay, technically it's open source and no one owns it, but there's a corporation that spent millions of dollars, covering the cost to build that, and in our case, we never sold the token. Everybody literally is a volunteer. Now I can tell you it takes a lot longer to get shit done, but I can tell you that once we're on mainnet, we're completely sustainable. We don't have a burn rate we're chasing. We don't have any overhead. There's no president. It's all on chain governance. And so to me, I feel like, dude, it was really freaking hard. And you know what? I'm fortunate that my wife and I do pretty well in our personal lives. I run my own consulting company. My wife's a medical doctor running a big thing out back east. And so I'm fortunate that I don't live paycheck to paycheck, and I can literally basically work full time on Tusk for 2 years without having to make money from it. If I wasn't able to do that, Tusk wouldn't exist.
Sure.
I'm the one that's going. And by the way, we're focused on the US gun industry, and I go to more gun conferences than I have crypto conferences because that's where our customers are. And by the way, there's no one else from any other crypto project at any of the leading gun projects, the Gun Rights Policy Conference, the NRA Conference, the NS, I forget, National Shooting Sports Foundation, their Retailer Expo. There are no crypto projects at any of them. I'm the only one there.
Wow. I mean, and by the way, as a Second Amendment, not just advocate, believer, right? As a inherent, I can appreciate that. But obviously, you got a lot going on. Tell everybody where they can find you, because I got a couple more people who are going to hop on here shortly. Rob, and it's been a pleasure to finally see you again, man. And I'm thankful that you were able to hop on tonight and join us and be part of the conversation. And look, we'll have maybe a more in-depth conversation about this on Bitcoin Radio. But let's where can people find you?
Sure. Yeah, you can check us out at tusk.network. That's TUSC.network. Tusk stands for the Universal Settlement Coin.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate your time, dude. We'll talk to you soon, and good luck with everything. I'm happy to hear that you guys are mainnet, and I look forward to seeing the success.
Thank you so much. You have a great day.
Absolutely, bro. See you soon. All right, Rob, thanks for jumping on, man. Look, I got Danny Sessom from the Crypto Show. He's going to be on a little bit later here in a minute. Happy to allow others to jump on if they got something. I know Tristan, I saw him. Tim, you're always welcome, as you know. Baz, he likes to run his mouth, but he doesn't want to hop on. Just kidding. Baz has been on with me probably about 5 or 6 times. David, Dave, come jump on, man. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what's going on with the market. Anyways, but moving forward, it takes people like, and I love what Rob said just a second ago, is that, without him being able to have a full-time job and being able to self-sustain himself between him and his wife's income, his blockchain wouldn't exist. And to me, that's exactly the way that you should build something. That's how you want to build something. That's how you want to be perceived, is that you built something because you knew that it was needed, not because you were going to make a bunch of money. And, we were all fine with it when we were also making money, but now it's like, oh, they're making money and they stole all my money. And look at this. It's a scam. No, don't feel sorry, Tim. It's all good, brother. I love you. You're doing your own thing. And if you're not following Tim Pace, everybody on social media or on TradingView, Tim, he was one of the first 3 guests, 3, 4, 5 guests on Bitcoin Radio. This dude came from, I've never done TA in my life, and within 3 months had become the #1 most followed person, or at least shared. I can't remember what it is, Tim. I don't want to speak for you, and I don't want to lie about it. But the #1 Bitcoin chartist author, not necessarily saying he's the best or there's nobody else that's doing it better than him. Literally saying, Tim Pace, I'm pretending I'm Tim Pace right here. I'm Tim Pace, and I'm trying my hardest, and I'm going to literally put my whole journey of never knowing the TA whatsoever to literally knowing TA right now. And I'm going to learn it in front of all of you and let everybody make fun of me and let everybody tell me how stupid I am. Folks, social media is a pain in the ass. It was #1 for the Binance charts. That's what it was. Thank you. #1 Bitcoin author for the Binance charts. And Tim, like it takes people years to get to that point. Still am. That a boy. Heisenberg, BTC. Anyways, but this is just a small piece of the pie, folks. 2020 is going to be fun. 2020 is going to be fun. I'm not saying that Bitcoin is going 100K next year, but I'm not saying it won't, right? That's not the purpose of that comment, though. The purpose is to say there are things going on right now that are drastically going to help the credibility of Bitcoin. When I hear about the U.S. government, and this is bipartisanly, printing and allowing money to be printed at the level that it is, let's just say you have $10,000 and you put it in the bank. And traditionally, 50, 60 years ago, grandparents, they could put money in the bank. They're going to make money on that. Not to mention it only costs like, $150 a month to exist, but today's a lot different than that day, because every time they print that, billion or $1 trillion, extra money over a certain amount of time, that devalues the dollar that already exists. They're not getting rid of any dollars as they print it. Keep that in mind, right? They're literally printing on top of and oversaturating a market, anticipating that the world is going to continue to use the US dollar. And whether you're the euro, whether you're the Chinese yuan, and so forth, you're going to be subjected to what your government does to bring about stability and growth. Man, stop printing money. Start destroying money. Let's see what happens if what if the government started saying like, we're going to start burning our dollars, right? Like a token burn. Man, I mean, like, that's never going to happen, folks. Every dollar that exists will always exist. And when you lose your dollar, that's just one more dollar they don't have to account for. Idiots. Stop losing your dollars. Stop writing on dollars or ripping it in half to do magic tricks. Crazy. Calling the USD a stable coin is an oxymoron. Not bad, Tim Pace. Yeah, agreed. I don't think anybody would be surprised at that comment, unless you don't know about Bitcoin. And then it's just the same. And you just see prices of everything else going up. And then it's the government's fault. It is, but it's the backwards reason why it's the government's fault. It's not the government's fault because they're raising taxes or prices necessarily on a certain, my milk. I go buy a gallon of milk, it's $5. I go buy coffee at Starbucks, it's $11, right? It's crazy. But why is that? Is it because the companies can? But the companies blame it on how much everything else is costing and the new taxes. But it's really inflation, folks. It's inflation. Fiat burn, rest in peace, says David Hoverman. Oh, Dave, please join me tonight, man, if you get a chance. I'm sure you can't, or else you would have already done it. But I don't hate the dollar. I use a dollar. I pay all my bills in the dollar. So this isn't a dollar hate fest. This is, there's plenty of people, you got Randy or you got Rich, they'll sit there and they'll tell you how bad the dollar is, how stupid it is. Well, that may be true, but it's all relative, right? And the dollar's done pretty good for a lot of people, right? The dollar's never screwed anybody over at a high level. Just at a long level, they'll screw you over. So you have time to wake up, in other words. They're not doing it tomorrow. But yeah, inflation on expenses, but not your salary. True story. And that's another thing is like Bitcoin as a deflationary concept. Perfect. Man, what if they only made $21 million US dollars ever? Think about that, folks. Tristan, join me tonight if you can, man. The link's above in the comments. Between people like Baz View, who I've learned, and I talked to Baz last night, right? Me and Baz were on the phone. He's giving me insight. He's telling me this. He's telling me his perspective. He's giving me some hints on what he thinks he's gonna be buying. And I'm coming back at him. I'm telling him this. But that's a fun conversation to me to this day, right? Like, if you don't love this space and look for that opportunity, not to make money necessarily, to be in front of the future, that's what the blockchain's doing, folks. That's what it's doing. And it's really important to me that this space exists for my future, for my child's future, for your children's future. The blockchain is the path of freedom. We lose freedoms every day. Do not let any politician ever tell you that they're removing laws. Like, when's the last time that happened? Like, even when they decriminalize marijuana, right? They're decriminalizing it. They're not just saying, hey, this doesn't exist anymore. They're like, yo, we're going to make a law that says you can no longer criminalize people for this. What? F you. It's a plant. Me too, Baz. Always. To my point, 2020 has the recipe to be incredibly successful. And I'm not telling you it's done going down, but I don't care. I will buy $5 every day of Bitcoin for the rest of my life if I can. If I can do 100, I will. And I regularly rebuy Bitcoin. Unfortunately, not everything that I do in America accepts Bitcoin. I do pay my AT&T bill in Bitcoin, by the way. But that's even stupid. But I make my living. My means of survival is from the blockchain at this point. So unfortunately, I have to utilize the value of the cryptocurrency known as Bitcoin, usually to suffice. Now, I do sell things from time to time on eBay or on Craigslist, and make ends meet, if you want to call it. Minus 18 degrees Celsius. What does that even mean? Bro, I do Fahrenheit. That's like a 900 degrees below freezing to me. If a website with my cryptocurrency closes, what will happen to my crypto? It depends. It's a good question. See, Mohammed. Is it a wallet with recoverable keys on another platform? You should be able to recover that if it's an ERC20 token. If it's actually stored in a wallet that it's not accessible anywhere else, man, I would need to know the details before I gave any opinions. What is a blockchain? Like all new and exciting tech innovations, it is often just a buzzword thrown around to define and market many different things that it is not. Well said, Adam. The term blockchain really only describes a chain of data. It is not Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, a distributed ledger, smart contracts, or a P2P network. What makes blockchain innovative and beneficial is that it structures data in a way that allows applications to easily verify the integrity of the data. He just says data, but I added the in the chain and turn CR. I like this comment. It completely exonerates me from having to worry about what my face is doing. Guess what, everybody? I got a secret weapon showing up right now. He's in the lobby. David Haberman's coming on. Hey, before David comes on, let me talk about this dude real quick. This guy, the best beard you know, the coolest hair in crypto, the most awesome, genuine, nicest wife ever. Everything else kind of sucks. All right. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. What up, David? I love you, brother.
Oh, for sure. Oh, do you see that?
Welcome back to the show, bro.
Dude, it's been way too long, man.
I have stroked that beard myself.
Man, I'm telling you what. I just did I conditioned it today, put a little beard oil in, and man, it's soft. Real soft. So how you been?
Baz wanted to remind you that you got waxed. I've actually left that alone.
You're one of the few.
I know. I've had my fun, but you should be like the wax man or something. You should just like own it, dude. At this point,
you saw it in our mod and the mod chat. I mean, I'll throw out hashtag bald eagle all day. Bald eagle's checking in.
Bald eagle,
and that loving wife that I have had so much joy from that.
Did you appreciate your introduction?
I did. I'm not gonna lie, man. I've been in the cave. I haven't gone out much. I'm really pale. But as you said, I've been digging through data and just building some mad sciencey stuff. Actually, did you hear that ding, by the way?
Yep, I did.
2 trades, just 1.
I love it. Congratulations. And for those of you who are just brand new to David Haverman, you probably shouldn't be, but if you are, he's part of on the senior leadership of a company called Sync. They're doing a lot of really awesome stuff with trading data, and feel free to plug yourself here shortly. I don't want to speak for you or introduce you wrongly, in other words.
That's all right, man.
Go ahead. Actually, just go ahead and just give an overview real quick, Dave.
So I've kind of like recently transitioned to the CIO position of Sync. I'm a co-founder and the chief investment officer
with Enrique, with
Enrique, and Enrique
agrees with me about everything else except crypto. Well, even in crypto.
Yeah,
which I appreciate. I think he's a smart guy.
I tell you what, Enrique doesn't agree with many people. However, his thoughts are well
Yeah, he's
put
not an
out
idiot.
there.
Yep.
Yeah, he's definitely not an
Smart ass
idiot.
guy. Yep.
Well, and try to argue with them and yeah. Anyways,
Well, you know,
but,
he's one of those really cool dudes that like won't if he knows he could just whoop your ass, he's like humble enough to be like, I'm not gonna mess with him today. I'm not gonna do it to this dude. Hey, look, thank you, Enrique. I look, I've seen it happen. I mean, I've seen you back off our conversation, scared boy. I'm just kidding, bro.
No,
much
yeah,
love,
so
much respect to Enrique.
We take Enrique is the mad scientist in taking sentiment data, and unlike other places that count tweets or whatever, what we do is we take the data, we take the sentiment, and then we correlate market action. So it's not what was said, it's not who said it, but what happens after. And we've taken that, and for the past probably 2.5 months, I've created my end is creating automated trade strategy based off of this correlational data. And this data gives us price projections on where the market's going, what price, how long. And we've got three strategies
question, by the way. Hold on, before you go any further. Adam wants to know, David, where or how do you source your data?
Everywhere. Any public forum, Reddit, Twitter, any public forum where it's publicly available. We do not buy data anywhere.
Hey, Simo, by the way, C Muhammad, I'm just going to call you Simo because it's a cool ass name.
Hell yeah, I was going to say that.
So Simo is your name from here on out just because it's so much easier for me to say. But Simo says, hi, David.
What up, Simo?
And Tim Pace, the genius, says he's buying at 70K. How do you feel about that at the moment? Is ballsy? Bald Eagle ballsy?
No, I don't think that's ballsy. I actually think he's playing it safe there.
Or maybe risking missing out on a nice move up.
Man, I don't want to be the Debbie Downer, but I guess I'll
go ahead. No. Speak. Look. We've had enough discussions, David.
Sure.
I'm gonna disagree with you if you think it's gonna go down, only because I'm looking at the 5-year period.
So it depends on timeframes and so forth.
Exactly.
Overall, we're going up 100%. Sure, I shouldn't say 100%. 99.9%.
Yeah. Well, we wouldn't be here if we didn't think that there was something happening.
Yeah. So I think, kind of like big picture thing, when we saw that, that big move down and we saw 6K to 6,800, that really strong area, I was tracking multiple people making huge cash buys, but also some pretty big sells. And I thought that possibly could be a form of distribution. And then we went lower, bounced back up, and I think we're in an accumulation range right now. Here's a little pro tip. I've got an average of 68.50.
Buy it. That's where you're long from.
That's where I'm long from. Yeah. Now we could have some pumps up till, some pumps in front of there, but nothing too crazy.
Can you see this chart, by the way? Are you able to see this chart?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. So let's just back off and let's look big picture real quick.
Sure.
When you see this chart, and I'll be the first one to admit, this looks like a descending triangle where it's bullish at the end of the triangle, but it's bearish in the way that it's going to move, right?
Yeah.
So, we can see that it went up really high, and that is 2 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. Boom. I don't know can you see my mouse? I don't know if that shows up on the screen.
I don't see your mouse, no, but
that's okay.
I kind of see where it goes up.
Yeah. Well, obviously we experienced this. We not only see where it went up, we were there thinking we all just got super rich and we were going to be millionaires in, forever. And it was never going to change. Yep. And then obviously it's a steep decline as almost as steep of an incline that we had. We saw it drop. We've seen recovery, we've seen dips, we've come back up, we've come back down, right around that, what was it? Early 2019 mark is the bald eagle stage, and, almost made a cup and handle, and it's just continued to go up. We had a nice run, almost to 14, but you look at this and you got to say, if we don't make a move quick, then we are in a descending triangle. It is bearish until it isn't. And, and the trend line, although we could definitely still go play with $10,000-$11,000 easily tomorrow, just based off of the charts, more than likely we have a redress of a bottom of $4,000. There's a very good chance that can happen. That's realistically speaking. Now, I don't believe that. I do honestly believe that we're on that first end, because hold on a second, I'm going to pull this up. Give me 1 second. A long time ago, this chart right here looked a lot bigger. And this is something people forget, is this is not, relative to actually what it was doing. I remember, not this price at 226, but I do remember, seeing Bitcoin 200, and I do remember seeing Bitcoin at 1,000 here.
Mm-hmm.
And then, playing with that and going up and down and touching it. And I remember when I bought Bitcoin at $1,000, David, that it went down to not this price. This was, I think I was November 2013. So let's find it. That's my buy-in right here. This is me. That's actually me right there. The 1100. Yeah, that was me. And of course, I probably got some horrible price because I bought it and PayPal the guy money. Not only did I pay PayPal their fees, but this guy probably gave me whatever price he decided, sent me a Bitcoin, right? So I probably paid closer to like 1,200, like the most expensive Bitcoin ever, by the way, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. But then, it wasn't always great after that. We quickly, retested a bottom, and it's not really doing what I want it to because I don't have the time frames on properly. But anyways, the point I'm making here is that what I think would happen sometimes does, oftentimes doesn't. You've kind of cornered that market a little bit in what you've experienced and what you've told me. And I would love to know what your thoughts are on the big scale, right? On the big time frames. And then also, what people should be expecting, on a short term.
So
in other words, should I buy or sell right now?
Depends on anybody. And I let's just clarify. I'm not giving you any financial advice or anything like that. Just merely my
stop lying.
Negative.
Hold on. I got something for you. We can have a drink and we can change that opinion real quick. You can give everybody financial advice. Just take a drink of Tito's. I'll have one. I'm gonna pour one right now. Go ahead.
There you go. It's kind of, it depends on the picture and what you're doing. If you're just buying like 10, 20 bucks here and there of Bitcoin, and you're not going to try to, use it, and it's just a little
not trading.
Yeah. Not trading. Just if you're truly investing, and just going to buy a little bit, throw some away, see what happens.
Sure.
There's anytime's a good time to buy. Right now, later, if you're just doing, 20 bucks every month, whatever, it's not a bad time.
And hold on, before you go any further, I think that's a very, very big deal, what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
There's a relativity to what your goals are, folks. If you're stepping into this saying, I'm going to buy $25,000, it's all of my life savings, and I'm going into Bitcoin, well, first off, that's the dumbest shit. Me and David would agree on this. That we've ever heard.
100%.
You should be diversified, you should be safe, and you should be putting yourself in a position to not lose money on multiple ways. And if some of them work out, and they should, if you're smart and if you've learned your lessons, you should do okay. People want to speculate all the time because they want to get rich. Fair enough. But relative time periods, are you talking 20 years, folks? Are you talking 20 days? Are you talking 20 effing minutes, which is a honest time period in crypto? Is it not, David?
Oh, dude, in 20 minutes.
You could live and die off 20 minutes.
I've seen people make 100,000 and lose 200 in 20 minutes. And
hey, David,
that's real.
I'm going to let you actually have the screen for a minute by yourself. I need you to handle this for me.
Okay.
I've actually got to take a phone call that is really important. It's a family matter. So let me do that real quick. But I will be right back on. Give me 20 seconds.
Sure. Well, welcome to my show, everybody. Suck it, Joe. No, anywho, looking at this chart and understanding the fundamentals and the things that are kind of playing behind the scene, I think personally that this this range that we're playing anywhere from here to all the way down to like 5,900, 5,800 BTC. If you go back, you can see, I can't see the dates, but we were really tracking this around the 5,800, then the bounce back up to what's that, 60, no, 10 a little bit over, come back down. I was watching some like really big injections come in, and then very large cells come through, and we're just talking trade volume. So I took that as a distribution period where there's a lot of people who've probably accumulated for the past, however many year. Maybe they're mining and they just wanted to liquidate. They saw the writing on the wall. They've been through this market cycle before where, we've seen $1,000, then we've seen $200. So I saw that area, that time, as a distribution period coming through a pretty big dip. And now we're kind of coming back to that 6K area. I think it's going to form a support. 5,800 to 6K is where kind of like if I go long and we dip a little bit below, I'm not thinking we're going to go all the way back down to touch that 3K again. I'm not willing to bet any hair on it. But it's just kind of what I'm seeing right now. So really, I'm kind of happy with what we've done. We've needed to come back after we broke through that 6K mark, 5.86K. Once we broke through that the first time, we really needed to come back down and test it again. Former resistance turns into support after it's been tested and holds. So with that being said, I'm okay with where it is. TA, Joe's painting a pretty picture that could say I'm wrong. But you never know. It's going to be interesting.
I think we're at a very interesting point right now.
Yeah.
Where, this is where if I had not witnessed the actual horrible pain in your eyes during the waxing, I would be waxing betting you again. But you paid your dues for everybody that day, including me. I mean, it could have been me just as easily. I will openly admit that I was basing my observations off of public sentiment, and that there eventually had to be a move up, right? What's up, Inga? And you were basing yours off of similar concepts, and there was a lot of negativity in the market. Don't get me wrong. Hey, and Bass said I just bought some Tito's. Cheers, brother. But you could just. I mean, I'm not saying that this is going to happen. I mean, like I pointed this out for a reason, and I drew those trend lines. Which are the most basic trend lines you could, and they're not even right. I mean, this is a pretty big time period. Keep that in mind.
They're rough. Yeah, they're rough.
Yeah, this is
in
just
a long form.
But this could easily, and hopefully it would sustain, and bounce off of 4,400 if we fell all the way today. But every day that we move forward, it gets a little higher and a little higher, that where that bottom should at least rest to, right? But also the ceiling gets lower and lower. But when I see the ceiling get lower and lower, what that means? It's easier to break it. It is.
Well,
I know you disagree with me.
So how do I put this? I respect TA and I respect certain technical indicators. For this market, specifically cryptocurrency, given how emotional the vast majority of players are, how the unregulated nature of it tends to bring out more emotion, more FOMO, and so forth. So though I will say TA, there are certain indicators that I use on a daily basis, and there's certain indicators that I don't use. But there is something to be said about it, because if everybody believes it, it's then true, regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, I like it. And what I worry though is, so I'm kind of not necessarily tinfoil hat theory, but we're all familiar with Bitfinex and the USDT or Tether and everything that's going on in the news and so forth. So I would pose this question, Joe. That top of the very, very top, when you and I were dancing, drinking and dancing at 19.
We're millionaires, bro. We're never gonna have to worry about money again.
Yes.
This is up here, by the way, where I'm like shaking this dotted line. Okay. That's that's not how we feel today. All right. That's not how we felt then. All right.
Yeah.
And then we visited this. Oh man, those are some awesome times too. They made us tough. Right.
It shows,
Now we're
but it
here.
shows who's still standing, though. I mean, that comeback. I mean, that all the way down to 3K. If you're standing after that, I mean, where's all these influencers? Where's Ty Lopez? Where's these guys who were super big in crypto? They've moved on to different industries. I don't know where, so if we're still here, it shows one, we said something, two, we've endured. We kind of are somewhat smart if we've endured 19 all the way back down. But what if I told you that 19.7 area, 19.8 area, what if I told you that wasn't true? What if I told you that because of potentially, allegedly manipulation, and if
you're talking about maybe like here.
That seems...
That looks a little
reasonable.
bit more normal, right?
That seems
or even here.
Yeah, we're not go that low, but
no, I mean, what is this? I'm at 8,000 here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, November, October. Okay, this is the 31st of October, 2017, right here.
Yep,
$7,600, right?
Mm-hmm. I was
Thanksgiving was like right here, 68, 69. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
All right. No, excuse me, not Thanksgiving. That's still October. Anyways, so November happens, Thanksgiving-ish time, 2017. I remember this vividly, right? And like a matter of like a few days, we were here, right? So agreed. I love this concept. Okay, so I'm just visualizing what you just said. Imagine that didn't happen. Okay, so what would you say did happen then in this magic world?
I mean, if I were to say true money, dollars to donuts, we went through a very parabolic trend. The first times we saw CNN, Fox. I mean, the news agencies talking about Bitcoin. I mean, I know you're sports guys. So you got Barstool Sports, you got Prez talking about about Bitcoin. So I'm thinking, hey, maybe 14K. Maybe 14 was really it. Maybe 12 to 14 area.
So you would say, okay, and I don't disagree with you. So that 14 FOMO, and that was still a FOMO, but that's a natural FOMO, right?
That's a big FOMO. But
that would make a lot more sense where we're at then. Given
all the other external factors, main news coverage. I mean, everywhere. All you heard about was Bitcoin. I mean, I'm in a small town in the Midwest, and I've got AM guys on the radio who have trouble turning on their computer talking about Bitcoin and what is cryptocurrency and what is this blockchain. So
yep.
That parabolic movement, though unnatural or unsustainable, if you will, I think that was real. I think the little bit of the juice on top, maybe there's something funny going on.
Well, I mean, it's a free market. It's people can do what they want, and it's not technically manipulation. I mean, it just really isn't. It's correct. I can do whatever I want to do. If I want to talk to my friend about it, if I want to do whatever, there is no rules. Okay. Now, is that right or wrong? Well, obviously in the stock market, that's very wrong, but who made those rules? People who don't have the information, right? Yep. They're the ones. Yeah. I'm not signed into, I'm on, hold on a second.
I'm surprised you're not in night mode, by the way.
I would be if I was actually signed in. I didn't want to sign in and have my stuff all over the place. You know what I mean? All right. I'm actually going to close these charts up.
Okay. But yeah, you're absolutely right, though, about it being a free market and not regulated. I mean, and proof is in the fact that there was a point in time where I specifically called out a couple different people who I alleged did some things that were a little uncouth, if you will, maybe a little, there might have been some morality issues. However, I never accused them of anything illegal. So when they tried to sue me for slander, they couldn't because it really wasn't slanderous. What I said,
I don't know about this, by the way, and it disturbs me that I don't, because I've always got your back first and foremost. And let somebody make an enemy of CCT, right? That's the last place you ever want to not be. Like, I mean, if you want me to talk some smack, what you got?
Well, I mean,
hold on. You just looked at something as if it didn't have clothes on, and
it has clothes on. Come here.
Okay, it's a kiddo. All right. Yeah. I thought maybe your wife like showed up and she was like, "Time to get off."
No,
you're a baby making machine, bro. I mean, like,
there's very few things in life I do well. Making big, beautiful babies is definitely one of them. So unfortunately,
And
for everybody else, I'm off the market.
Yes, of course.
Say hi to you.
No,
Say
yeah,
hi.
and let's be real. Let's be real. It's your wife that should be like, I'm sorry, I'm off the market. And you should be thanking everybody for being off the market. Let's get real. Tell Brooke I make sure she knows I gave her a big shout out as the introduction went.
Brooke, when we went live, I don't know if you're watching, but Joe gave you a very amazing shout out in the morning or in the.
Let her know that you thought you were talking. I was going to talk about you, and I was actually talking about how awesome she is. You can tell her that off camera. It's okay. I'm not here to take her manhood again.
I mean, it's all right. But
all right, look. We can wind this down. Let's get this. Let's get this last. I really appreciate your perspective, David, and you know how much respect I have for you as not just a person, but as someone who's doing something for the space to better it as selflessly as possible. I mean, you've been doing this essentially, for the hope that this works out one day, right? And I'm very, very grateful. And obviously you have a beautiful family, beautiful child, beautiful children. But you got a life to look out for, but you still believe in this enough, right? We're either going to be huge idiots, because I'm in the same position, by the way, or we're going to be the biggest, baddest geniuses ever, and our kids are the heirs to the throne, right? But
I mean, you and I both walked away from good careers. I mean, you were in you're oil and gas, right?
Yep.
You're in oil and gas. I had family trucking business, real estate, gambling, all the fun stuff, and
you're still gambling.
If it was not for my wife, and this is all sincerity, she was the one that pushed me to be happy rather than to chase.
I remember that phone call. I remember the phone when you called me and told me that.
Yeah. And that was it. I had been struggling. I'd been over a year, day in, day out, studying, reading, charting, learning, while working. And finally she was just like, I want you to be happy, so do what you got to do.
Look, I was about to say God is good, and he is. Don't get me wrong, I am a man of faith, but are we really that happy? Shit, it's like the most stressful time of our lives. Which makes us happy, by the way. That's what makes us happy.
Yeah, it sucks that I haven't, I haven't gotten a paycheck in, about 2 years. Brooke just said preach, but what we're here about and what we're doing is every indicator that we can look at: news, technology, Amazon, PayPal. Look at what Coinbase just did, where you can. Brian Armstrong just patented a way to email Bitcoin in an email. I mean, that's something that grandma can use. That's something that can touch anybody.
Hey, getting some love, respect for your wife, David. Hey, Steve has a question. And what effect will quantum computing have on Bitcoin? That's a question for Ash Rolston, Simo, and I'm not even going to touch it.
Nope. No, because whatever you say, Joe, or whatever I say, DM will come in. Dave, you're wrong. This is what you could have done. Joe, this is what you should have said.
Why didn't you say this?
Yep. Ash Rolston.
Ash Rolston. Look, I will ask her myself for you, Simo, and I will personally send you the DM with her response. How about that? Just DM me and remind me. Anyways. All right, David, final thoughts. Where we at? I know long-term, I know that you're a bull. Short-term, you tend to be a bear, which has proven to be more profitable than being a bull, minus the 10 days that Fred Krueger was talking about.
Yeah, and Fred's a smart guy. Fred's a smart
genius. I love that dude.
I think if you're here now and this is your first time, take advantage and learn. Don't listen to me. For real, don't listen to me. Read on your own. If anybody is a true testament to what you can do if you put your mind and truly your efforts, you actually try. Look at Tim Pace. And you said it earlier. I sent Tim a message, I don't know how long ago. I was like, Tim, I don't care what anybody else says. What you are doing is the exact path Joe took. It's the exact path I took.
Yep.
You put yourself there. You tried. You kept doing it. Anybody can. It's all in the amount of effort they put in. So if you're here now and your first time, put forth effort. You'll get 10x out of it if you put in real effort. And if it's not your first time, go ahead.
Sorry, I hate. Don't mean to interrupt. It is my show. Good. I can do that. I did hear you say to S the D or something. When I had to take a phone call briefly, but which I thought was funny.
I did not say that. I just said "suck it, Joe." I didn't say
"Suck it, Joe." That's right. Well,
keep it real.
what were you implying? Come on, what do you tell me to suck? Bitcoin?
My thumb, man. I got
Yeah.
kids.
Okay, you got kiddos around now. All right, fair enough. You know what? That's the only time period in your life that you can get away with that funny, awesome comment. So I'm gonna give it to you. All right. But I'm actually inviting Ash on. Hold on, let me. I want her to come in and actually answer this, so we don't. Hopefully I spelled this right. I've had 2 Tito's now, so.
All
right.
I will take notes when Ash speaks about technology, specifically AI, quantum computing, and so forth. I take notes. You have to.
If not, she'll kill you.
Yeah.
And Ash is an AI, and Ash is not a human. She is part of the Matrix, and she might even be connected to the Almighty. So in some capacity. All right. That being said, hopefully she missed that, because that was not a compliment. That was a fearful statement. It is the mother of crypto, everybody. Ash Rolston. Ash, there's a question. Oh, I've got you got to fix your audio. Oh no, actually, you just got to turn off the Facebook. Close the tab. Might even be connected to the Almighty. So Ash, you got to close the tab.
What tab?
All right. Okay, Ash, we have a question for you from Simo.
I was
Simo
watching on my phone,
Lamani,
and then I
Akbi.
hopped on my computer.
Simo, did I say that relatively close? I mean, am I close? Si Mohammed, Lamani, Akbi.
I can't pronounce that. That's for sure.
I got it. I handled it. Let me know how bad I messed it. Okay, Ash, it's all yours.
I have to answer that?
That's why you're on here.
Oh.
We weren't going to touch it.
No, we stayed away from it purposely because we knew that Ash would let us know how stupid we are afterwards.
So quantum computing doesn't necessarily have any effect on Bitcoin. It has an effect on encryption. And I know that's kind of semantics, but the encryption that Bitcoin uses can be upgraded. So to say that it's automatically going to have an effect on Bitcoin isn't exactly accurate. We've already seen upgrades to the address types over the past 10 years. I was about to count how many years it's been since Bitcoin launched. It's been 10. So
I know we're literally coming up on what, 11?
11,
right?
January
3rd.
Yep.
Keep going.
God.
Ash, look how old you are. Ash keeps her birthday by the amount of years that Bitcoin's been around.
Both of you are older than me.
Oh, I know, but it's so much funnier because you're the mother of crypto. You're almost grandmother of crypto. It's coming up.
I still don't know if you're real. You're just really good AI with a 4K stream.
It almost looks a little bit weird background. Like you can tell that that's not even what she looks like.
She's gonna beat our ass.
I know. I'm just doing this because she will not say certain things on a live stream, but she will definitely let me know shortly afterwards. But I get a moment of I win. I've won.
He thinks he does.
So encryption. I'm sweating over here. I'm not even lying. I'm
having fun. I'm actually having the best time of my life today.
Good.
I just owned Ash Rolston.
No, you didn't. The private keys and public keys. So the biggest fear is that private keys will be able to be gotten from public keys without, generating the private key. And then
how would they be able to do that though? Like, what is the actual reasoning?
Basically reversing the process.
Because they're so powerful and smart, they can just figure it out.
Well, quantum computing allows what's called superposition, which is kind of like the Schrodinger's of problem solving. So if you have 0 and 1 as a bit in traditional computing, everything is either 0 or 1. It's true or it's false. It either exists or it doesn't exist. Well, in quantum computing, both 0 and 1 exist simultaneously. It's called superposition, and that's why quantum bits are different. So not only can it be 0 or 1, it can be any value between 0 and 1, which allows a much more complex calculation set, but also with quantum computing.
Wait, can you repeat that? I'm taking notes. I'm just joking.
Also
Keep
with
going.
quantum computing. Why did I sign up for live with both of you?
Oh, you knew. You should have already known.
I'm
You're
being
smarter
quiet.
than this,
I'm
Ash.
being the good one. This is the good son. Mom.
So there's something called Grover operators, which, let's say you have 100 possible answers that could be the answer. A Grover operator can reduce that by, say, 30%. So now you only have 70 possible, and then it reduces it by another 30%, and that's minus 21, so 49 possible. And then you reduce it by another 30%. And each time you run these different calculations on it, it reduces the possibilities by a big chunk, instead of going, okay, let's try this, let's try this, let's try that. So a traditional computer, to break something like a Bitcoin private key, would take billions of years. Okay, probably like hundreds of millions, but whatever. Not a reasonable amount of time.
Yep.
And when you look at quantum computing, that's the risk for it, is that
Okay, so before you finish that statement, like, what's weird to me is like we're going from driving a car to going light speed in space. That's the difference between quantum computing and regular computing. I think that's a regular Joe way of explaining it, Ash, and you don't have to like actually do the math and tell me how wrong I am, okay? But when you think about it, what's in between that? Why isn't there something? Why aren't we trying to progress slower? Like what the F is going on?
Well, the thing is that we have done stuff that is slower. If you look at computing circa 1950s, if you look at everything that's happened since then, can you like imagine taking the internet back to the 1950s?
I can actually give a real world example of my grandfather worked was at Case Western University and in engineering. And
was that an online school?
No,
Clearly
he worked on a computer that gave you digital outputs by papers with holes in them and lights flashing on a wall. That computer encompassed 3 stories of a full building. And because there was like a little bit higher magnesium concentrate in the area, all of the computer guys lost their eyebrows because of breathing in the magnesium. And we're talking, he said what he could do now. And I just had this conversation with him not even a couple months ago, but he was basically saying he saw the beginning of what computing was. He said there's nothing that you can really compare that to aside from a pencil and a piece of paper to where we're at now.
Well, and it's not just that, but there's an example that I always like. The computer that launched the Mars mission, or not the Mars mission, Jesus.
The moon mission.
The moon mission. Yeah, now we're going to Mars.
Apollo. We are.
The Apollo mission.
We've been there.
The computer that launched those, our phones have more processing power, more everything than these computers that launched moon missions did. And yes, Danny, if you were going to go after money, why not go after the banks? And actually, there's a lot of people that are without quantum computing.
And look, if you're smart enough to handle a quantum computer, you're not trying to screw over Bitcoin. You're already part of the matrix Bitcoin, and you're probably Ash Rolson. Ash Rolson probably has a couple of quantum computers. Ash, have you ever tried to build one? Be honest. Is that illegal?
No, you can build one. But the problem
you can't just build one. Only you can just build one.
The problem is
Dave
coherence and conductivity.
I actually looked into it. I have
carbon nanospheres. Burnt mothballs. Seriously.
All right, Dave, you and Ash aren't that far away from each other. Like y'all could. You could.
Oh, I know, because we're supposed to meet in the middle, which is Chicago. And
no, but guess what? She'll leave a few days early. Don't worry. No,
that's what she did. That's what she did. I forgot to tell you I was in Chicago.
Yep.
And I was like, I forgot to tell you that you don't like me. But whatever.
At least I told Joe I was in Vegas, then I left early.
I wish I could have been there. Trust
No,
me.
well, I was there, and Ash is like, "Okay, I landed in Vegas. I don't know if I'm going to see you or not because I just don't feel like it." And I was like, "What? Ash, that doesn't even make sense. What do you?"
You make me sound so mean. I'm not that mean. I didn't say it like that.
First off, I just made you sound nice, and there are a lot of people who you have blocked that would completely disagree with me.
Okay, well, they're blocked for a reason.
Adam, I gave you a shout out at the beginning of the show. Anyways, all right, look, I think it's been a very informational, fun, and exciting show. Ash, thank you for joining us as always. Your interpretation of the world and blockchain itself is always a pleasure to hear.
Yeah,
And,
IBMQ is awesome, Inga. I like playing with her.
hey, look, she's a local. She lives near me, and this awesome badass Inga is developing IBM near the Baton Rouge area. Not to put her business out there. I'll edit that out of the actual podcast, just so you know. Inga.
I think we need to do this again here pretty soon, but I think I need a drink.
Oh, wait, you didn't. Oh,
well, no, because remember you had to go and I was here and I was,
Yeah, I kind of called you out. Ash, any last words?
Why did I bother signing up when both of
Star
you are
Trek or
already on?
Star Wars?
There is a right answer. What is it, Ash?
And it better be the right one.
Star Trek.
Thank you, that girl. Sorry,
What?
Dave.
What?
Sorry, Dave.
What?
Why aren't you? If you believe such, why aren't you actually at the movie right now?
Well, because it's been bastardized, but that's a whole different story.
I mean, you can't even go into that movie and actually enjoy it at this point. Like everybody's already told you it's horrible.
So,
By the way, I've heard that for the last 6 episodes, and I've enjoyed every one of them. For the record.
So it's kind of like one of those things where if you're a purist versus someone who will take a restaurant.
Hold on, stop talking. Ash is saying something.
Another topic.
Sure.
Whoa.
When are you gonna get rid of your beard?
No, what the heck? Go away. His beard is beautiful.
I will admit I did have about a ½ inch taken off of it. Just my ends were a little but it's looking good now. And
you can tell, but not in a good way.
For those who have heard me drop it, I've dropped it once when it will go away, but it'll go away when the time is right. I have a goal I set. I did this as a form of civil disobedience to the people who said you have to be clean cut, wear suits, look a certain way to be somebody exactly. Yeah,
killing in the name of.
Well, I'm just growing a beard in the name of.
Chill. Who is DavidHoffmansBeard.com? Come.
Ooh, that's good.
Back then they didn't love him. Now he's hot. They all on him.
Mm-hmm. But
right, Ash?
No.
That's why she's here.
Did you see Brooke's comments on his beard?
Oh,
she loves it.
No, she doesn't.
Oh, she says that.
look what she just commented.
Did she?
Like I summoned her.
Is she? No.
Oh,
no.
Waxening part 2.
No. Like
I'm the waxening part 2.
No.
Ash, make a bet with
there is not enough.
Ashley, make a bet with him right now and do something that he's going to disagree with.
There is nothing. There is not enough money for me to be waxed again. There isn't.
What about on the face?
No. I mean, it's a little. This is a sensitive area. I didn't. I shaved.
I would rather you wax on the face than on the bald eagle.
After the bald eagle, your boy ain't even getting his eyebrows waxed for a dare.
All right, this is getting out of hand. All right, let's close it down. All right, Ash, thank you for saying Star Trek. It's I completely agree, and it is the future of humanity. David, you can continue to live in a galaxy far, far away. And until next time, Bitcoin Radio. Hey, go ahead, David. Anything else you want to say? Where can people find you at?
It's a good question. You can find me here in CCT. You can find me at Sync.io. Sync.tech, and you can find me in the cryptoverse. Sometimes I pop my head up. I'm gonna be around more now, Joe.
He's never on Twitter though.
Hey, did you see Ash Wilson's new profile picture?
I did. Okay.
I shared it in CCT.
I know. I didn't think it was real. I honestly did not think it was real.
I shared it on purpose.
I know.
And it's my only way of trolling Ash without being wrong. Like she can't say anything.
Yep.
Because I'm just being a friend. I said follow her. Like people need to know who she is.
Yeah, I gained like 150 followers since then.
Chill.
David Haverman.
It would have been more, except you blocked the other 2,000 people that would have. David underscore that what?
Whoa. Yeah, we are gonna have to cut this. Brooke is standing with 2 waxing strips in her hands right now.
Brooke, come here right now. Tell her I want to see this.
Do it.
Brooke, Joe would like to see you right now.
Do it.
Hey, Brooke.
Hi. I
Show
can
him.
hear you.
He said hi.
Hey, got up, man. You just made me the happiest man on earth, Brooke.
Here, there you go.
You just made me the happiest man on earth.
You're
I just
welcome.
had flashbacks to the best day of my life.
It was pretty amazing, wasn't it?
Oh man, we enjoyed
My
it.
favorite part was like how he was not trying to curse because Theo was like on.
I forgot about that.
A maker of great babies and dealer of David. I appreciate you always, and just know this: you are. She's like used to it, Dave. Like you can't
He
hurt
can't
her.
hear you.
I know. It's like he is seriously scared. Brooke, love you, girl. All right, Ash. Hey,
Bye, guys.
bye, Brooke. David, sign us off, man. Sign us off. I know you can hear me. Sign us off. Tell me what's up. Say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye,
Bitcoin Radio, where Bitcoin lives, everybody. WBTC.
He's having trauma flashbacks right now.
I don't know what just happened.
All right. Before this gets even more out of hand, I mean, we've had a great show. Thank you, Ash, for joining us. Dave, as always, a pleasure, man. Hey, and to everybody else looking around you, you're looking at people who are doing things for this cryptoverse. It is our job to take care of it. I look around, I surround myself with people who are doing awesome things for it. Why aren't you? Until next time on WBTC, where Bitcoin lives, we'll see you soon.